Welcome to some more Steel Division 2, everyone. Today we are continuing playing every division with 352nd Infantry, which was wished in my last stream. So it is a C- division, so it fits in. And I think we're going to try this out today. As this is one that I actually haven't played, I don't think at least. Maybe at some point when I was completely new, but at least ever since I started at least getting the hang of the game, I have not played it. So I recently also made a poll on YouTube, but also on my Discord regarding on how you guys want to have the Playing a Division series. And the vast majority wanted to keep it as it is. So this is what I'm going to do. There were a few people who wanted to have like the talking parts at the start and at the end shorter in general. And then a few on my Discord who wanted one specific shorter or the other one shorter. So unfortunately this is kind of mutually exclusive, but what I can do and I will try to do is give you just a quick overview of the deck and my thoughts on it at the start of the intro. And then the same thing with the outro. I can already show you the finalized build, give my comments, and then I go into detail, and with the timestamps you can skip ahead to the battle and things like that, but just so you get the information that you still want to see, and then everyone else gets the details. So I think that's the best thing I can do. So the interpretation at the start is as always short. My initial thoughts of this are, of course, it's not a very good division. I think this one's definitely in C- tier, very accurately. It's just only single machine gun infantry, which is really bad. These generally do not perform very well. You also have a lot of tanks to work with. You have some fantastic tabs with the AT and the artillery tab, but that is not really enough to win a fight. You also have a lot of weird light armor mixed, if you can kind of count these units in as well. And that makes it decent overall, actually, but it still doesn't make it super good. It has some strengths, though. I think it can, my guess would be it can do well against divisions like a lot of half-track and infantry without, armor that can actually effectively deal with these things, and these might be annoying to deal with. Hope you might guess. As for the build, I think you're gonna want to build it Maverick, maybe Vanguard, but I can't really see Vanguard. I don't think it really has the push potential for that. I try to make a balanced build, and you can. So there's, for example, the Panther A leader that you can take in A phase, and then you can move one of them in B and one in C phase. You can actually go for a while with the heavier tanks. And you can kind of use the Martyrs and the Panzerjäger to substitute for Stücks that you don't have a lot of. You can definitely build this spammier. You can build it anti-heavy. So there's options. The options are there. But at the end of the day, I think Maverick is probably the best way to go for this, because then you can really leverage some of your tools, and you are not in danger of running short too early. Now going into a little bit more details with what my thoughts are when I was building this. Again, I think you kind of want to aim for a good mix of your armor that you get, and just kind of as weird as it sounds with these kind of units, you still want to kind of rely on them, and your infantry just gotta use the fact that your infantry is cheap and you have some cheap armor, and hope they can kind of whelm your opponent that way. Meanwhile, at 2K, you can actually really engage. The question is just, are you going to get a 2K map? I think if you get this in Slow Quest, for example, it's probably not that bad, actually. Depending a bit on what you're up against, of course, but I think you're going to have a decent chance with this. So, in the Recon tab, I just have these guys. This one especially I think is very useful because it also has an AT shell. It also has a better AP shell. It doesn't fire as fast, but this can realistically pen some light armor and kill it. And again, with the AT, it's actually dangerous for infantry too. It just has one machine gun, which just is not really that good. This one, on the other hand, this one is really just a light armor killer. It kind of sucks though, because it only has 15 minutes of penetration, so against half-tracks it will do fine. Against some light armor it can do okay as well, against most it won't. Yeah, make of it as you will, what you want, but that's what it is. You can definitely take it out and take something else, wouldn't be wrong. We can actually go back and think about that in a bit. Infantry tab, yeah, single machine gun. So the good thing is, again, I think this division works well against some light armor mix, because you have, like, these can actually do something, these can do something, and you have Sicherungs on top of that, as well as the Panzerjäger. So if you're playing against light armor heavy division, I think this is actually a decent counter, especially because then they might struggle against the Jagdpanthers too. So, you know, you can pick like a ranged spot and maybe just block it with this. I think there are some options there. The Sicherungs is a really nice tool for that. It's not very good against infantry, but I think we take it still, because again, this is about the only strength that this division has. And if you're against a division that doesn't really deal with has light armor, doesn't really have light armor, and is just relying on its infantry to do the work, you're probably still going to lose anyway. We're taking the Gundam M242 for some actual firepower in B phase as well. I'm having a hard time not taking the Gundam Panzerfaust though, because I think the Panzerfaust is probably more important. I'm just kind of counting on the Sicherungs and Panzerschreck in the AT temper needed. We're going to bring a leader, but we're not more, because it's getting expensive again. For an infantry division, it kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie. Pioneer in A phase. I think you know the rule by now. If I only have one shrimp Pio, bring the Pio in A, because then I can actually micro it. I think we're going to just put it on single that and we get 5, because then I can actually micro it and use it with the grenade throw trick. In B phase with Maverick, it's probably not going to happen, because I will be too busy. And now in B phase, I have about all the infantry that we can get. Sicherung, and the Panzerfaust, and MG42. These, of course, for firepower. These guys for better firepower than the Sicherungs, and the Panzerfaust and the Sicherungs for Sicherungs. And then they should last us into C phase, hopefully. That I hope will do the trick. You could definitely take these guys in A phase, especially at 8 availability. I might just do that instead of the Pioneer. We don't have a lot of sustain with these, but we have a lot of pushing power. Tank tap. So, considering that we're building this Maverick, I decided that I don't want to have any Jagdpanthers in C phase, which means we take one in A and one in B phase. This means that we do not need the Panther in A phase. Yes, it is cheaper. It is still 50 points cheaper. But I think it's kind of redundant, and I'd rather have more armor in places than having one more heavier tank, which is why I'd rather take these guys. I mean, they're still decent against light armor with 7mm of penetration and 6mm of armor. Relatively slow, but we're going to have to live with that. And also, they can bully light infantry a little bit. This thing is actually pretty good. You know, we have some decent damage against infantry. Most important, though, we have a good gun against light armor, and we do have 8mm of... We have a gun with decent penetration against light armor, and we have decent armor ourselves. This thing, of course, against some of the Soviet tanks, for example, like a T-70, not so much. T-60, sorry. No, it's T-70. But against like Sherman, Stuarts and such, and against some Axis light armor as well, this will actually do pretty decent. And it's only 25 points, we get 4, and again, availability really matters here, since we don't have that much armor to begin with. Strick in B phase, I doubled it because we're on Maverick and we want to have good performance. It's definitely not wrong to single that it though. Support tab, there's not much here. We take what we can get, and it gets expensive. For like an infantry division with bad infantry, I think bringing the commander can be very useful, but I just can't fit the leader in here or the commander in here. AT tab, we have to put a lot of things into this one because of our tank tab. That's one of those divisions where this is the case. I actually would love to have this as well, like having these in B phase, for example, would be great. Having light AT would actually be great too, because while we have all these nice units, they're not really fast. So having fast light AT in place is actually really useful. Like if we could bring in the horse, even just a Kubel would do well. But I just can't fit it in. We want to have the Pack 38 in my opinion, for some actual AT. If it weren't for the models, I would also want to have the... you know, the Pack 38 can do it to some extent. If it weren't for the models, I would take a Pack 40, but we do have that, so we don't necessarily need the Pack 40. And then Panzerschreck, I think, we need to have them. Panzerjäger 35R, we can't really pass on that. I'd rather have these than the Marder. They will do well in a lot of situations. And then, of course, the Jagdpanther. Now, for this division, you know, this division came around before generous vet curves were invented. So while Festung gets the Jagdpanther at double that, one of them, and Kampfgruppe Walter gets 2 in A phase at double vet. This division gets 1 at single vet in A phase, and we just have to live with that. In B phase, it sucks even more because double vet would be really nice, but then we go to 1. And I kind of like to have 2, so most likely it's an overinvestment anyway if you buy 3. Probably even with 2, but you know, the option I think is nice to have around, so we're gonna have 2, which is why I ended up with 3 of them. Probably better to have just 2. Then AA. Yeah, it is what it is. I decided to go for the flak because it can actually do damage. This thing, it's a flak for 36, and we don't have the chance that they recently got, which means that I'm kind of stuck with it. The only reason why I have it in A phase because I do have an 88, and I don't want to take the flak filling as well, because that means we don't have any cheap AA in A phase, which can be a bit of a problem. And this one is not exactly cheap either, but it is more affordable for sure than both of those. Artillery tab. You can definitely build this differently. I just don't like off-map, specifically single-use ones like this. It is massive, but this is your one chance, and you can't have like meaningful follow-ups with it. Like use the off-map, then use another one. So I'd rather just not bother with it. We have Nebels, they can do the trick. I could definitely not take more 150s. Would also be an idea. These two are, I think, okay, but just not worth it if we have the 150. Simple as that. I think this thing, even with radio, I think I tried this in another division. Maybe I mistake it with something else, but I think I've tried this in another division and it's just kind of overwhelming even with radio. And there's that. But yeah, the thing is a 1 point slot, if I remember correctly. It is. So what else are we really going to take? We get 2 points then, so we could take Fusilier, but it's not that good. We could take more. No, we can't take more artillery then. It's just kind of bad. Which is why I decided not to. I mean, if we ditch this and drop one of these as well, then we of course we could take more infantry, which is probably okay. I'm going to try it like this. Gives us some flexibility. Actually, you know what? We're going to drop this. We are going to drop the bat one. This feels so inefficient. I mean, it is inefficient. And we can get some sea-phase infantry in. Because we're going to spam this, so we might actually need it. I like to have the Beobachter here. I think it's nice to have more recon, more radio especially, because we don't... actually, we don't need it. This feels horrible, but then we're just going to get more regular recon that can also fight. I don't think that's going to do. Because we only have that one now. For the air tap, recon plane, because we have a tank buster. We might actually need a tank buster. Fortunately. This thing... because I'd rather have the bombs. If we had 287s, I would use them, but we don't. This is actually a pretty good fighter, but I don't think we need it. We have what we need, and then we have some bombs in B phase. Just nothing fantastic. So yeah, this is my build. It's a really, really scuffed one, but it's what I could come up with. And here we are on Slutsk East, which is definitely good for us. And we are against Tankman 156. I've played against him a while back. Or not a while back. A while back, but more than once, I think. I saw him in a queue a few times. And he definitely gave me some challenging games back then. So let's see if this is still the case or not. If either he has overtaken me or I have overtaken him. He's playing Tetzao, which I respect immensely. It's going to be a big problem for me because he can outspam me. That being said, we have infantry that is also spammy and crappy. But again, he has more. We can also spam each other with cheap French tanks, so there's that. The good thing is, this is entirely mine to command at the start. He can't really do much. Second issue though, now he has his nasty strafer planes. You're going to see a video towards the end of the week of me using them because I played Tetzao in a tournament game. Yeah. Now I'm really afraid of these guys because they're freaking like crazy. So the good thing about that game is that now I know exactly what Tetzao can have. Most notable, of course, and this is something that probably everyone knows, you don't have any tanks till sea phase. At least none that are noteworthy, right? You get some French tanks, and they can be noteworthy. They can be super spammy, and it's really obnoxious. It's really annoying to deal with those. And it can actually be more than annoying. It can actually be a real problem. And then I think that's about it. And then again, you get these guys as well. But so these are probably not really gonna need, honestly. Now one thing that I do want to do is this. He can deploy here in snipe transports. I did that to my opponent last time. Don't want to do that. These can actually be really useful now. Maybe even these. Because in A phase he can't have the cheap French tanks yet. He can have 4 in support time with flames. And he has a limited amount of Panzerjäger. And he doesn't have a ton of unit with bazookas. In A phase at least. So... And I think no AT rifles either. So these guys can actually be of great value, as I think they can help stem the tides here a little bit. I'm going to bring recon planes for sure. Probably an early RTP, so we're going to have to wait and see. This thing is definitely not going to get out here. Maybe not even later. I have to wait and see. I'm going to bring an IG-33 as well, right at the start here, together with my 88. I think we can definitely try to at least grab these 2 flags, maybe in this one. He can't really do much in the 2K area. Now this is a bit of a problem because he can definitely push into that, and that can hurt quite a bit. Like there's a lot of flags for him to grab here. This is again where his infantry spam is going to be useful. For the open, not so much. No, we need the 88. We need to stop those planes if it brings them. So it's not optional. And let's bring some of these. Maybe some of these as well, just to be annoying. And we will just try to get in here, I guess. We can just bring some. Oh no, I didn't save. I changed these to the. Hold on, yeah, classic me. Because I did change things around a little bit for those of you who switched to the battle after me showing my build. So I don't have the Stoßtrupp now, which sucks. My pioneers are still single red, which I usually don't like because there's just no point in doing it, in my opinion. So that actually really sucks now. Now the Stoßtrupp would have been great to spam around because it's cheap CQC that works really well against him. It is what it is. We just have to deal with it. And I think we might wanna... What's the range of these guys? I mean, my B2s could deal with them, but this thing's faster. I think they're called B2s. Called B2s, right? Yeah, B2. So I'm going to bring one of these to actually support and deal with potential Panzerjäger that he might have. Again, so we're going to try to get in there. And I think I'm also going to send an MG42 with there. Might be able to do it. And then for the long run, one of these. Then we also have some leadership there. Good. That's gonna do. This is gonna do as well. We're gonna build this up later on, so we're gonna play this out slowly and then push through the flags. And this is where it's really gonna matter. So here we are gonna bring Sicherungs. That's a bit of a problem now. Now we have to rely on these guys. Well, it's still better than disarmed infantry, so. But yeah, I think we're gonna bring these guys. You have to be very careful. Here. We're gonna bring some of these to deal with the ones that he has. Alright, we're gonna bring a recon in the church tower, as we should. And then we're just gonna bring Sicherungspioneers. The leader. Because we are gonna need it. Leader can go in here. Pioneer can go like up here. I'll show you why am I deploying so weirdly. We can actually... We can fight this. We don't need to go defensive, actually. I think the plan is going to be... So, here's the thing. If I manage... I've got 2 leaders now. That's too much. Sorry, guys. My deployment is horrible today. So, right. If we manage to deploy, like, all of these here and win that fight... he doesn't have flamers, by the way. Also very important. That means that we should be able to get control over this, and we can force him out of here. And then once we cut him off here, there's just not much that he can do. He just doesn't have the kind of units that he needs to deal with that. Now, in the town down here, all we are going to need is one of these, just to hold. And then we can support from up here if needed. We have recon planes around everywhere, and I think that's going to do. Ready. Good luck. Have fun. And let's see what we can do. It's kind of an interesting matchup. This is not really the kind of game I would have hoped for. And he has, you know, he has light AT they can use here, so he can definitely, like, counter my tanks. So it's not a defensive division, but it's definitely not one that, you know, this tabby can shine against, which kind of sucks. And it's also one that our infantry also can't shine against. It kind of gets outshined, honestly. But we have to wait and see. I am somewhat afraid of Tetao. Like, I'm not joking, seriously. Because Tetao is dangerous. If you get into... If it's primarily an infantry fight, you get outspammed. Like, you're not going to outspam Tetao. Some rare divisions might be able to do it, but most don't. And that's going to be a bit of an issue. He's going for a push here, actually. Which means I want to bring something up here, and preferably a tank in there as well. So he deploys heavily over here. He's bringing the support weapons in here, so if I can get there before they can do anything, that's going to be alright. Alright, so there comes the SS-Wache Brenn at the start. There comes the Strafer plane. See, this thing is an absolute beast. There's the Flammpanzer in A phase. That's okay. Just chill here. I push. Push. You can just cover that off. Oh, my Panzerjäger is gonna get... Does he have AA? I don't think he has. This pack needs to go, and I think then we're good to go. Right. Just get a sequence in here to hold. And get something in here to grab this. Doesn't have AA. It's falling back as it should. Oh, he died. Right, let's get some recon in here. Right, let's fall back over here. He's losing it, that's alright. We can get another one of these in. Get some more infantry, and I think we should start covering this with AA, because that plane is going to come back, and it's going to be a bit of a problem. I'm going to put it into defensive position. Yeah, I think the next priority is going to be AA, as I said. He's going to die because I mismicroed him. Now we just need to commit, probably. We will just have to do a support gun after going after B2. B2 got the kill, love that. There's still something here, so Pack 40 might still be alive. So we're going to put it here in a position where burning through infantry, which is not good. Alright, let's see what is here. Let's push usual. Let's keep my pioneers here a little bit in the back line so that they can still actually do stuff. Oh! No, he died before he could do anything. We're gonna bring one of these in here just to deal with that. Gonna bring one of these in here to make sure he can't counter push. And the next thing is gonna be AA here on the hill. Gonna bring a pioneer here. That's actually dangerous. That's within heat shell range. Which missed completely. Let's bring in 2 of these now. No. Shouldn't do that. He can definitely kill that. We can get AA in now, though. And we need a leader next to it. Otherwise, it's going to kill that. Probably not going to catch that. No, we're not going to catch that. We're going to wait for a good target. There's no point in going for... Alright, so now we need to start covering this off. Make sure he can't get in. Gonna get more of these in. And we're gonna focus on high value target, like this Jagdpanther Div. Basically, following me at FG42. These are actually dangerous for us. If he's aiming, he's aiming at my MG. Okay. We need to keep the fuel that this has in mind as well. Oh, the Pack 40 is still here. By the looks of it. Which my plane completely missed, but now we can go after it. Right, now we're just going to cover this off. If I could kill one of these, that would be massive. Huge. These are really a big problem, like overall. Wait. My tank lost against this one? Well, this is a B2, I guess. Not a cool B2, but a B2 nonetheless. Pioneer goes in here, please. I think it's time to get a big gun. I'm going to bring it closer here because it might get strafed otherwise. Which would, of course, be a smart call. Damn it, can you please, like, I know it is there. I can see it. Jagdpanther over here. It's definitely not good. Can't see the Panzer Jäger though, but I guess I'm gonna have to fall back a little bit. I'm running out of infantry. It was a bit of a dangerous call to have so, like, few infantry in. Oh, no. I should have been falling back, fall back, fall back. That should have been a fall back. Luckily I have the Pioneer Leader, which means that he can actually hold up there. And you can just push forward and grab that flag over there. Now I just need to deal with that. And then we can go. Oh no, it's in a bad spot. Can't really do anything. These light AT guns are absolutely wrecking me. Right, B2 versus B2. Empire coming in as well. More Sicherungs. And then I-18 on the hill. Get with this thing. Actually trying to engage that B2. What did he grab that I should... Ah, he grabbed this one, yeah. True. Oop. Right, this thing is finally arriving. Looks like I won the tank battle there, which is good. I love that. Finally, we spotted it. We can finish that off now. That would be lovely. We can bring one of these in, kill that, and then we might actually be able to push back in there. 15-9 now. We need that. Shit, he died. More of these guys. That's actually... Yeah, maybe it's the better spot. Bring a 2 of these in. We're gonna smoke and then push. That's gonna be the plan here. How can you not see that? Alright, we're gonna bring another one of these in. Oh, it's just barely out of range. Oh, just gonna bump that then. This, oh, single 20 mil. I might be able to do the trick. Let's find out. Not just die. Finally! And then we're gonna prepare a retake of this. It's taking them unvetted. It's a very interesting choice. We should try to get over there. I'm gonna bring some of these to help with a push. We're gonna bring some Sicherungs, and then we're just gonna push in there. We get it with one Sturmpire just in case he has any CQC over there. Next thing we're gonna do is pump this. We probably can't. Let's see. Did it die? It did. Good. think you might be able to get in. Yep. You can evac now. Panzerjäger. Engage now. This is actually a problem. Right, I hit. That's a bit of luck there. Not gonna lie. Is he just throwing grenades at it? No, yeah, it is. Because it's open top. If you're close enough, you can throw grenades into open top vehicles, so... It will die eventually. And it did. Oh, he started arting it. Okay. Which means we're just gonna bring another one. Because we're gonna need it. And this idea we can just bomb. And once you're out, you are out. Alright, you can get to work again on this right here. Looks like he's preparing over there. Oh yeah, there's a team there. So we're gonna shell it right there. And it's pushing into this. Which is a very weird play. We need to re-grab this, which we can with just some infantry. It's not a big deal. Oh, it's a Panzerwerfer, I see. Which means I just gonna move. And then hopefully he misses. I can see that it is not on return fire, so I'm somewhat confident that I should get through. We can actually just bomb that, I guess. The big problem is going to come in C phase when he can spam us, so... Oh, didn't work. Okay. 15-9 again. All right. I need a proper tank. I need to prepare for the fact that he can actually start moving in with sticks and things like that. So oh, he got unloaded a bit early. Then we might be able to just send the blob over here, kill that thing there as well. Gonna get more grenadiers. Let's... And once it's finished aiming, it's probably gonna miss now. Oh, it's going after this now. Yeah, that's a bit too late. It's a bit too late. We can bring an IG-33 over here as well. 16-8. Hey, mate, the cavalry has finally arrived. A little bit late, but better late than never. And we can try to cut this off good now. Can maybe fall back here. Don't want to overdo it. Technically, if we get this, we could really push this, but I'm really terrible at pushing that, so can't do that. See if we can just get in here and bomb whatever. Oh. Oh, leader. I love to kill leaders. So I'm running low in infantry, so I need to win this fast. Still something over there. But we got in there, so I think it's in here. We can just bomb it. Might work. Might not work. I have to find out. Alright, we are gonna be... Yeah, I see some backline unit that I can snipe over there. Just drive, please. Don't need to bother shooting at whatever that is. Not worth it. The big threat here... See, this is what I wanna... This is what I wanna kill. And whatever came here with the moon, Maltier, that's actually the big prize here. But this is also a big prize. I'm very happy to take one of these if I can. Because he doesn't really have a lot of AA. That's one of the few units that he has. And he can't outrun me. Because I can see this. There's an AT gun, but he can't kill all of those. That's probably also what the Maltier brought here. Might still be able to escape it. And very soon I would expect the first King Tiger. He has those. So, like one of the weird things that this division gets is they get a King Tiger for whatever reason. I mean, it's cool, you know. It's like... It's a nice little bonus that you get for not being very good otherwise, so I wouldn't complain about it. It's just an odd fact. This thing's actually running low on ammo. Speaking of low on ammo, I have not actually used this, so I have plenty of ammo left I can spend on it. Ooh, Stück. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Just drive. I mean, at the moment he can't see anything. Just push. I hope that the Stück kind of loses line of sight on it as he drives below here. I think I'm a bit too early. Doesn't matter. We're gonna kill that Panzerwerfer. And I think we can dodge a Stück maybe if he moves that way. Given that he loses line of sight on it. Very soon it's going to be over. But I do want to kill that Panzerwerfer. Please. The smart play would have been going like one here. Because then I can guarantee evade the Stück with one of them. Come on, you can kill it. Something died here, I don't care. Move. Alright, now it is defenseless. Huzzah! And they're probably gonna get killed by the Stück now. Oh, GG. Gonna have manners and congratulate him to a good game. I mean, it's rough, you know. It's like, again, as I said, the danger of Teta is if you get into an infantry fight, Teta will outspam you. But this is not an easy map to get the infantry advantage on. And, as I just said, the problem is, like, you could see, I didn't need to do much in the town, because I just had the open. And he couldn't do anything against that. Like, he can do something against that in B phase. He can bring the 88 AT guns, but since I didn't actually bring a Jagdpanther, but just my AG-33 and an 88, that wouldn't have helped him much. And, yeah, it's just a rough game for him. So, yeah, again, I was a little bit afraid of getting, like, outspammed in the town, but he didn't really do that. Because there was definitely options for a push there. But he didn't take it. I mean, again, it's rough. It's not an easy division to play. Especially, and that's really important, especially because I do have some light armor to actually match his. Like, having those French tanks were really key here. Because otherwise, you know, the Panzerjäger could have killed my Panzerjäger, and there was not really much left there. But the French light armored recon cars were actually really clutch here. So GG's to him. I mean, we can kind of see what this division needs, right? You need an opponent that doesn't have 2k on a 2k map, and then you can win with this. You can actually win against division as well that have limited 2k, but some like divisions that have like 1, maybe 2 Tiger or Panther card, because the Jagdpanther will generally dominate against them. And that way you can actually also, with that, you can actually get some wins as well. But in like on a map like Slitsk East, you still need to hold in the town somehow. I think most divisions that have limited amount of Panthers and Tigers will generally have better tools for this than 352nd. That's a bit of an issue. But anyway, I think I'm going to get ahead of myself. So, yeah, for the fight itself, what could have been done better by me or my opponent? I think he should have just tried to nuke the town, basically, for all he got. He used the planes really nice. They are super strong, but I think he didn't really use them where they mattered at first, going for that machine gun there. Same for his Panzerwerfers. The open was just never really a thing, but in the town it could have been very devastating because I had to concentrate. So just that on his side. On my side, I think I could have done a little bit better with my AA coverage. I knew that these is going to come. I knew that they're going to be a problem. And I was a bit late. I was, I think, very lucky that they didn't do more damage. You can definitely go and pair them in strafe AA pieces. You're going to see that in a video this week on Friday, I think. So just a little heads up. That is definitely something that I think could have been done better by me. And then I think, yeah, just some better use of the artillery. I think bought and then didn't do much. Also taking better care of those tanks that just died. Anyway, I've actually forgot this, so let's look at the chronology real quick. Yeah, I got ahead relatively early on, but then he fought back really well. And it was a lot of back and forth actually up until like, yeah, I mean, after the 10-minute mark, I think I really started winning speed. But that's if you look at this actually, so I didn't really realize that. But like some of these units are really cheap. But that's like IG-33 got a huge kill there, 88 got a huge kill there, Pack 38 actually got a huge kill there. The Marder that was also on my right, and another 2 IG-33 kills, another one, another Marder, another IG. So he just wasted a lot of units on the right where he didn't have any advantages, and I think that's what really like brought me ahead, because then I think in the town we were relatively even for quite a while. I think he actually picked me apart there quite a bit at the earlier parts of this fight, times of this fight, but. Like, I just see so many things that died. This one is actually not on the right. This was in the center. But I just see so many things that died to units in the open. And that just should not have been. Oh, actually, I lost the IG-33 towards the end. Didn't even notice. But yeah, it's just too many losses there. And I can. Oh, that's the one that I wanted to bring in. That makes sense. But yeah, so I think that's that basically. If you look at that, yeah, look at the IG-33. This thing got so many kills, and he couldn't contest it. He knew it, and he should just not have, because with that many points, I mean, these are cheap, but like these are expensive units that he really needs. They could have been very key in the town, and the points that he had there also. Yeah, no investment to AA. This was also a massive kill for me. And then 88 actually did. This is just cheap units, you know. But yeah, it's quite a bit of work there. Mostly by the IG-33. His Spec 40s sniped some of my units. The Flammenpanzer was actually pretty useful as well. The SS Panzer, I mean, it's a Fallschirmjäger. It's just simply a Fallschirmjäger with a different name. This thing slaps. Yeah, definitely lost a lot of kills to AD. That's for sure. And here we are back with the deck. So this is already the updated version, and I'm gonna talk about why I did these changes in a second. But first, we're going to have to talk, of course, about the division, my impression of it, and my thoughts on it. So, I do think that this is another one of these divisions that maybe doesn't really know what it wants to be, or maybe it knows exactly what it wants to be, which is an infantry division, but it's just not good at it. I think that's more of an issue there. Again, it's one of these divisions that is more built for like a static, slow, grindy playstyle, which just doesn't really work that well if you're line infantry, which is kind of the backbone of your of your infantry or of your division is not good enough, and then you don't really have the armor to make up for it. It is sort of a 2K division, but again, it doesn't have enough good tools there to really be like that. Like on Slitsk West, yeah, okay, but on all the other areas where there's 2K, it's just like you're just too bad for the rest of the map, really. Because outside of 2K, there's just not that much there. Again, it can counter some specific units really nicely. The German captured French tanks are very good against the Western Allied light armor, but that's about it. And that's kind of where this division really falls short. It would definitely profit from having better infantry, as always. Or, you know, if this was like the light armor divisions, of light armor divisions, combined with the 2K, then I can definitely... I would say we can definitely... There's definitely a reason for playing this division, because then you can kind of use your light armor combined with your heavier stuff, and then you introduce a little bit of a... You know, it's just there, basically. But this is not the case. So there's that. Now, the changes that I made are basically, so for those of you who just skipped ahead after my first overview over the deck, so I did some changes afterwards still while talking about it. And what you see here is mostly those changes because, as you've seen, I forgot to save and had to play with the original build. Just to quickly summarize what I did, I decided to take Stostrup over the Pioneer because we're going to be more spammy anyways. I think that the quality is just something that we kind of dropped. Another change I think that I made was, I don't remember what other changes I made, honestly. I actually reverted some of them, so I guess I'm just going to summarize. But other changes that are now made is I moved some infantry to A phase. I removed the AT plane because I figured that if we're going to need that, we're probably going to be screwed anyway. And we have some units to deal with armor, but I really need that extra infantry unit because I was running out. Of course, in other matchups, that might not be as big of a deal, but just we don't really have much else to buy, honestly. We have like AT and light tanks, but not a lot of them. So we are going to play a lot with our infantry. So we need a lot of it. And then, of course, I replaced the 115 B phase with this one A phase. So basically, I just went a little bit more A phase heavy with some of the tools that should be helpful to actually survive. I think that's the most important stuff. Now to the more detailed version. So I went back and forth to change things. So I did go, so from the build that you saw, not the one that I played, I went back to put these in. Now in the game, they were actually not of a lot of use, but they did what they needed to do against spammy infantry, as you've seen. So that's a plus for them. But also, I think, again, with a lot of half-tracks and some other light armor around, these can actually do some work. I figured it might actually be better to have them in there. And yeah, since I removed the recon plane, I did then get 2 activation points back to put this back into A phase, to put this into A phase, sorry, and this one back in. So that's basically my recon now, instead of the Fusilier. This one, so basically, this was the situation I was left with. I could, of course, made some other changes, but I think the most reasonable for me was really just to put this in. Because then we get some cheap artillery for support if we need it, and then we can still call in the big gun if necessary. And since, we're relying a lot of support anyway for infantry, I think more artillery is actually not the worst idea. So yeah, there's that. And the reason why I decided to not go for anything else is just really just a price, and for the same price you could get 81mm mortars. I just figured that I think the radio artillery might still be better overall. This one is really just too expensive. That's what it comes down to. I don't need another expensive single unit. I'd rather have 2 cheaper ones that I can use as needed. And then the last change that I made from the not played but originally planned version is that I moved so we had a Panzergrenadier here in C phase, right? Sorry, a Grenadier, we don't have any Panzergrens. So I moved that one. I replaced that one by a going to need a Panzerfaust in A phase. That means that now we do have a Panzerfaust in A phase as well, and get a little bit more infantry, because as you've seen, I was really lacking infantry quite a bit. And one thing that I'm actually just now considering is getting some Ostropen. But because you get like double availability at Novet. But the problem is if we take one out of these with Novet, we get like 8 or 9 availability as well. So I have a hard time justifying this, honestly. I think I'm just going to leave it as is. I think this should be overall pretty fine. This one, yeah, I think there's not that much to say about this one, simply because there's not that much to change in my opinion. I'm not super happy with the build, but I think this is more because of the units we have available and the slots cost in certain tabs, and yeah, I just can't really see a way to reasonably change this build. The only thing that I could see is like going more 2k heavy or getting more margin or these guys, but the problem is it's gonna be, so one thing that of course we could do is take out all the Jagdpanthers, and then we are a little bit better off in the AT compartment, right? We get some Umadas, we get a Buck 36, which I think will be very useful, because it's actually fast and gets in there quickly to deal with light armor, in contrast to these guys. Problem with that being that, in my opinion, is usually not that good. So unique divisions that aren't that good, in my opinion, are still better played by playing into their unique strength, rather than trying to offset the weaknesses entirely. It's just, the division is still not meant to be played like a classical mid to close range division, so we shouldn't try to force it on it when we have this available to us that, you know, at least gives us some leverage at longer ranges. And on maps where we can't really leverage this at all, I think we're screwed anyway. So this is kind of how I see it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day and see you next time.